Okay, so right, we use all our dice. Our medicines come in tomorrow, or I don't know if they come in, but we'll get our medicines tomorrow. Right, we are being hunted. Won't be long before they arrive. Well, arrive then. I don't really care. You can do what you want. I don't really have a choice here. I'm just gonna go to bed. Oh, I need food, man. I leave. I head over to the medical to Sabine. The first thing you see on entering is the glint of Toshiro's implants, like a cat's eyes in the dark of the corridor. He nods you in as you arrive at Sabine's door. The entryway is still dark and you push through the sweeping into the surgery. I have it. Sabine stands with the case open in front of them. A set of vials lined up inside, separated by foam inserts. They pick one up, rotating it in the warm light. Is it gonna cost me something? Probably, right? I have no idea how Yatagan they trail off. We should treat this with caution. It looks authentic, but I have no idea if it really is what it appears to be. So I am the test case. That seems to be the case. Unfortunately, I am not sure we have another choice. They gesture for you to sit on the bed. I mean, I am fading, so would be nice. The stabilizer works under a similar principle to an immunosuppressant in a transplant operation, in that it stops your body from rejecting the unfamiliar part of itself. Yeah, but then in transplant operations, doesn't it? Do we don't need it after a while? Well, in this case, we need it forever. Pretty bad. In the case of your frame, the unfamiliar part is each of your biosynthetic organ groups, which over time are identified by your body as foreign material and therefore must be eliminated. Sabine holds up a vial of the would-be stabilizer. However, unlike an immunosuppressant, the stabilizer doesn't do this by limiting your entire immune system. Well, what the hell does it do? Instead, it recodes your biosynthetic organs with a new protein chain which act as passcodes within your immune system. The stabilizer refreshes those passcodes, keeping your frame from rejecting all of its own organs. Passcodes? In very basic terms, yes, they say. Look, what matters here is that the stabilizer should be able to encode any organic or biosynthetic matter to be accepted by your immune system. Okay. For a while though, but then it has to be reset, like a freaking password. They glance away. At least if the stabilizer is genuine, the only way to know for sure is to inject the vial. They begin readying the syringe. I will start with a small dose to limit the risk. How sure are you? I'm working with best guesses here, but the vials, it looks authentic. Sabine cracks the glass neck of the stabilizer vial and uses the syringe to extract a fraction of the liquid. They tap the syringe and you watch as if any sign might emerge from the clear liquid. You barely feel the needle, your frame registering an initial injection but with little response. Ooh, boom. A sensation begins to spread from the site, a fizzing, trembling wave that disperses through your arm with incredible speed. Your vision goes white and when it returns, the beam appears encased in shards of sparkling light that slowly fade into darkness as you settle back against a bed. You swim in darkness, muffled noises like an argument heard from underwater, prickling waves of cold. When you sit back up, Sabine is sitting in a chair by the window, facing away from you, backlit by the glow of their slate. Of their slate. When you sit back up, Sabine is sitting in a chair by the window, facing away from you, awake by the backlit from the glow of their slate. Alright, awake. What happened? The stabilizer is genuine. Yay, that's good. They sit down beside the bed. I don't know how Yatagan acquired a case of the stuff, but they did. Sabine looks troubled, distracted. You should rest some more, but you are going to have to do that somewhere else. They gesture to the door. I have other patients, sorry. Sabine nods towards the case. I'm afraid I can't offer you any more doses. You are going to need to pay for your next dose. Okay. Silence fills the room and they return to their glowing slate. The slate as in the freaking tablet they're holding, right? Looking around the room, it seems different somehow, as if things have moved or shifted. You wonder how long you have been out. Sabine? Nothing comes free, sleeper. Remember that. You manage to get to your feet and wander out into the hallway. So less than a day probably though, right? You manage to get to your feet, wander out into the hallway. The queue stretches down the flickering corridor. Toshiro stands impatiently by the door and fixes you with a glare as you leave. You lower your eyes as you stumble past, somehow faintly aware of the station spinning beneath you. Ooh. Dude, it filled me up, man. That's good. It's pretty damn good, I would say. What is this? Oh, it is here. We can buy some scrap. Most of what comes in from the stalwart belt is corroded trash, but sometimes something valuable can be found. Scrap allowance. The big stuff goes to the shipyards. the valuable stuff to the markets. They'll let you touch a few crates, but not much more. I can unload. The freighter crew are eager to get their payload into the Ort exchange, and they'll pay a wage to anyone willing to help them. Someone has come in with scrap, and I can pay and I can buy the scrap. So it's 20 to buy a scrap. I can sell scrap for I don't know how much. Sabine surgery. What else we got? 100 cryos. Sabine is selling off the case of stabilizer vial by vial. You haven't been able to talk with them since your last visit. Okay. Well, I head over to this guy's stall. Emphasis spiced fungus is one of the few things potent enough to simulate your limited taste senses. It's incredible stuff. Let's eat up. So I can become a fungus fan and get energy. Energy is always good. Buy a vial of stabilizer. Study the winter light. Get to know Emphis. I'm doing that. Help her get her thing running. Build a ship mind. Fabricator owned by the Ort exchange. With that and a few fragments, you could build a ship mind core. Let's study the winter light for now. Okay. Dock C4. So there's nothing is here yet. But it's like this one. Something will arrive eventually and then we will do things. Peng. Havang system engineer. Sleeper. Feng catches your attention as you approach the Havanj building, leaning against a bay door to the side of the entrance. You approach. Easier to come in this way. Security, all that. He gives you a look. You know. He slams a button and the bay creaks open, blinking lights in the dark behind it. You follow Feng inside. Truth be told, I don't spend much time upstairs. This is where I work. The door hisses as it closes behind you. Havanj system engineer. The bay is filled with pieces of hardware, all rigged up to generators and diagnostic slates and things you don't recognize that glow with blue screen light. There is a chorus of hums that blends into a single wave of static, filling the dark corners of the room. Okay, so it's like a server room type deal. Okay, maintenance station. Peng leans on a server rack and gestures around. You like it? It's incredible. He smiles widely. I thought you'd say that. He taps a nearby server stack which beeps in response. This is my treasure trove, all dredged up from this sea of systems we call the Eye. You wouldn't believe what this place runs on. He steps over to a towering block, speckled with vents. Some of these systems are from the original station, AE-1, the one Solheim built. We've had to invent new components, repair things we never built, reverse engineer entire subsystems into existence. Residents here look up at the Eye and think they are seeing a concrete reality, but this place is a system in constant flux, decaying and growing, collapsing into new configurations. He walks down between the hardware stacks and you follow. We are keeping this place alive but also remaking it into something new, dragging it away from those corporate origins. He stops. At least that's what I am trying to do. Okay, so he's trying to make it uncorporate. Okay. He turns back to face you among the flickering machines humming all around you. I know you see this too, Sleeper. All the systems and sections. You can, can't you? I can see it. It makes sense, right? You are between here and there, between the people and their systems. You light up this place like a beacon. That's what I need. You glance at the lights around you, and as you do, they seem to flicker, to realign, to follow your gaze. Peng notices it too. I am guessing being a beacon isn't always ideal when you are on the run, though. They are tracking me. He pats you on the shoulder. Maybe I can help with that. There's a lot of old growth in this place. Subsystems I can't see, access protocols lost to time and decay. Secrets. A shitload of secrets. With your help, I can unlock this place. Break off those last ghost limbs of corporate control. He lowers his voice below the hum. Even in Havanj, there is old growth. Those whose roots trace back to the bad old days. You help me dredge up the past and I'll see what I can do about that tracker of yours. He winks. What do you say, Sleeper? I'm in. Peng pumps his fist and claps you on the shoulder. He meets your eye. You won't regret it, Sleeper. Peng passes you a ragged-looking metal tab. A gift, he smiles. It's a Solheim cipher. I dug it up from the depths of the station, slot that into an old network gate, and you'll be able to pull out all kinds of secrets from the nodes inside. He walks you back to the front of the base. Start by bringing me whatever you can turn up. Use that emulated mind of yours and see what's out there. Let's get a picture of how things are. Those above, he nods at the ceiling, have granted me an acquisitions budget. I can pay you for whatever useful data you bring in. I know you need it. He slams the door button again. Keep it quiet and keep it clean, Sleeper, and I'll see you soon. You step, blinking, out into the passage. Those flickering lights sit in the back of your mind. New drive, okay. Peng's Bay, the Havanj Systems Department. So I can sell him data. Peng will pay you well for any Solheim data you dredge up from the Eye's old systems. What he does with it is anyone's guess. Scooping the systems. Feng wants to get a look at what data is hiding deep in the subsystems. Okay, so I have a Solheim cipher. But don't I put Solem ciphers into this docking bay here? No. Okay, this is a different thing. Okay, what we can do is we can actually do something here. We have a 1. Havanj gate H4. This gate keeps traffic out of the Havanj shipyard's internal network. The correct cipher will grant you access. Slot Havanj cipher. Node. Data here is part of a cache duct permitting the collapse of witness for what purpose? Another one here. A lone connection feeds into this isolated node. Its last access timestamp is 1,000 cycles ago. Or a Havanj agent. A Havanj member is broadcasting on the open network from here, leaving the open data extraction. Or the Solheim gate connects to a network of systems which have been untouched since the Solheim collapse. So I can slot a Solheim cipher in there and get a network of things. Havanj agent is 2. Node mines cryo at a glacial pace, abandoned by the hacker that did it. Or a Yatagan agent. Some gang enforcers implants are shipping out comm signals. Time to see what they're talking about. This is the one I already did. What can I do with 1? I never checked. I can do this. You know what? Sure. Let's. I have a 1. Lone connection feeds into this isolated node. Its last access timestamp is 1,000 cycles ago. Bypass it. Perk, we got 5 cryo. We got nothing. Oh, extract data. Right, okay. We just did it. Neutral outcome plus 1 encryption key. Oh, what the hell? I am hunted. Hunter. As you drift back from the node, something latches onto you. A thread strung tight around you with tethers in place. A taste. The voice makes you shiver. Its source somehow both distant and close behind your ear. In the data ghost of the eye. So they have caught me now because I have started hacking. You see the distant glint of light shut off, and then suddenly a shape is at your side. It stalks around you, circling like a shark, like a wolf. Entity unknown, astringent, processing. Resist. You struggle against the thread and it tightens in response, a glittering garrote. Please hold. Like a freaking horrible creature. The thread around you thickens until it is a ring, a cylinder, a tunnel of light circled around you. It's blinding for a moment and then it is gone. As it fades, you see a figure, a creature in front of you. Its strange head flickers between different angles, reading you. What did you do? The shape paces around you on its legs, though there is no ground here to pace on. Entity identifier. Origin, serial cadence. The figure faces you expectantly. I don't understand. Sentience questionable. The figure's strange head rotates. Brackish signature. Off and not off. Attempting interface. As the figure speaks, more threads begin to spiral from its head. Thick, snaking vine-like ribbons that flex and wave. They approach with intent. Run. You kick off and glide away through the cloud. The threads surging after like a predatory tentacles. They follow, wrapping the space, warping the space around you until you are held within a web. A tangle of tentacles closing in, so you can't run. Stop. Hunter halts its thread, its head twitching. Entity, your identity is unknown. We only seek to correct irregularities. Can you confirm your legal rights to sentience? So it's checking if I am sentient, but if I am sentient, doesn't that mean that that's bad, right? No. Unfortunate. All at once, Hunter's head is directly in front of yours, blocking your vision. You stink of their taste, the one from the sealed dock. Hunter shimmers with fury. I will find access, I will interface. Stink of someone in the sealed dock. I'm opening the sealed dock. Sealed dock. An entity hides in the rotunda. You are its puppet. Well, I am not, but Hunter extends a razor-edged thread. I will not be diverted from my task. It glows with murderous intent. Strike. You lash out with all your force, not a physical strike, but a focusing. A spike of interference leaping out like the tip of a spear. Hunter stumbles, shifts, separates. Wake up. You open your eyes, blinking back into the station light, shaking with fear. I am being hunted. But I can now open the dock because I have the data for it. I have an encrypted key. And I can open up the other maglock. Unsealing the dock. The mag lock thunks open and you can remove from the entryway onto the next one. There is no next one. We are in. Neo Vend 33. So this is what the hunter is trying to attack. He thinks I'm working for this thing. It's a vending machine. As you slip inside the sealed dock, a pulsing light grabs your attention. Among the discarded tubing and rusted plates, a machine flickers with a warm glow. Look around first. You don't know when this place was sealed, but from the state of the outer doors high above it, must have been a decades ago. In this dark cavernous space, debris sits in every corner along with the traces of rough sleepers, although none of it seems recent. Rough sleepers. They're like me, but they're dead, I'm guessing. Although none of it seems recent, looking past this layer of decay, you see the now faded messages, symbols, and logos of the Eye's original corporate owners still glinting in the shadows. Among all this, the warm glow of the machine seems to be the only sign of life. Everything else is dead. It's a decaying vending machine. Approach the machine. As you get closer, you recognize the machine's blocky shape, settled into an alcove in the side of the dock, a kind of upright cabinet. It's covered in faded logos and messages, from which you assume it was once an industrial vendor intended to dispense and manufacture ship fittings and other mechanical parts necessary for the regular running of freight and resource extraction vessels. Your order, thank you. Deal, please wait. Okay, it's got a 3D printer on top, I think. The manufacturer is listed as Neovent, and you remember an advert from long ago, squeezed among all the off-world recruitment drives that assaulted every planet-born citizen, which chirpily sang that name over and over. You wipe a layer of dust from the cracked screen, thinking of those contractors squeezed by their corporate employers to pay for every bit of minor maintenance on their rented ships. Neovent is like a vending machine company, okay. A lot of people want to recruit people for jobs. Makes sense. Companies need workers. Jump in the name over. You wipe a layer of dust from the crack screen, thinking of those contractors squeezed by their own corporate employers to pay for every bit of minor maintenance on their rented ships. Okay, so you rent a ship from them and you have to pay maintenance on it as well? Come on. Enter your registration. Chirps a pre-recorded message catching you off guard. Press some keys. You reach for the keypad and something begins whirring. At first it sounds like servo motors starting up, but it quickly becomes a whisper. A whining, then a multi-tonal voice that emanates from Neovent. Entity, they hiss. Speak with me. Who's there? There is a squeal, almost like some strange mechanical swallowing or intake of breath before the machine speaks again. I have need of you. You have need of me. That squeal comes again and you see that it is the 3D printing apparatus in the upper part of the machine resetting into place, so that each time the servos can be orchestrated to produce that whirring, whining noise. Okay. So he's using the movements to make like a sound. Well, that is a good trick to learn. You are in danger. Danger? What danger? I know he's the vending machine. He's an AI or whatever inside the vending machine, but sure. The machine creaks. You are marked for deletion, entity. Hunter tracks you. The screech rattles through the empty dock. I get that. I have met Hunter. You remember the strange head, the figure, the threads closing in. Hunter. The Hunter protocol. They taste your signature. The sudden whine sets your teeth on edge. You have seen them. This is the gift of an emulated mind. You close your eyes and the skeletons of the station start to thump. Emulated minds are adaptable, move where neurons cannot. The mechanism resets, but emulation makes you a target. Are adaptable. Adaptable? Yes, you can move through networks, clouds, hardware, software, Neovent vines, but you cannot hide there. Hunter is there. The servos judder the vending machine's casing as they reset. Hunter searches for me also. Hide in this machine. You look at the ruined vending machine. An unusual hiding place for sure. Can counter Hunter, but need entity outside machine. The light flickers. Need you. A screen attached to the vending machine with a swirling arm comes to life. It displays a flickering map of the station, ghostly threaded. The cloud points along the rim glow in deep red. Hunter is always gathering. Too much data. Must build nests. Explains Neowind. Masters are gone but continues to hunt. Bring this data, raid its nests. Why can't you? Hunter will find me, then killer will come. The machine trembles with effort. I cannot leave machine. Connections must remain closed. He is still hiding here. He wants someone else to go do it. Hunter is always gathering too much data. Must build nests. So he is build nests full of data. If I can take away the nests, raid them. Okay. Bring offering. Save self. Neowind says pointedly. Mutual need means friendly. They conclude. Tired of the conversation. The whirring amplifies and then suddenly drops as mechanisms within the machine click back into place. The glow fades and you are left stood in the dark of the sealed dock, that whirring voice ringing in your ears. New drive. Upload Hunter data. Neowind believes that Hunter's compulsory compulsively gathered data might hold key to escaping the tenacious search. Wants data on the hunter protocol actions and behavior, so he might counter it. Huh. So he wants data. Hunter data. You want Solheim ciphers? No. Solheim data. A Solheim cipher is not that. But I'm guessing a Solheim cipher. Hunter nest. Interface. The nest is a tangle of algorithms recursively generating possible Solheim communication codes. Okay, so he's got a bunch of nests. One needs one needs a 2. Another one here. It also needs a 2. Okay. But I can enter the Solheim gate. Systems. Untouched systems. Gate S7 access. -1 Solheim cipher. The squawking noise, the old gate flicks open, granting access. Use me Solheim nodes. A Solheim daemon attempts to protect this node, speaking out protective protocols like a mantra. Okay. That this networked storage holds corporate records, most of them corrupted by a failed systems purge. And this node is leaking corrupted contractor lists from early days of systems Selenium rush. Go back to the real world, maybe do some work here. Go back to Dragos' yard. Can do salvage, alternatively I can do another forensic crawl. Let's do that quickly. Negative outcome, yard clearance, great. So I know the ship is salvage, and Dragos always says break it down, move on. Investigative winter light means picking through systems and success with care. It won't pay, but you may find answers. I would like payment though, by the way. You can also help her do some amber hull repairs. But there's no time limit on that. Well, there is a time limit on this. No, what about this one? This is endure and cryo. We already ordered fungus. I don't want to eat more same day. We don't need to buy, although I will need money later on. You can play the exchange. We earn money that way, but I don't think I want to play the exchange. It doesn't help me really that much. And this is endure. There is engineer. 1 second. Assist the shipbuilder. For free? You lost your damn mind. I'll start doing some cutter salvage. Yard clearance, 16 cryo I have earned. And that's all for today. But my stable freaking body will give me a lot of actions next time though. Should be pretty good. Ooh, a 1 and a 2. And a bunch of big ones. We'll start our day. We'll head over to Empress's stall. We'll have some food. Here you go, buddy. Let's have some spiced fungus. Okay, one more day and we can be friends with him or something. I don't know. Investigate the wreckage. I do want to do that. Let's start working on that, eh? Neutral outcome plus winter light. Come on, man. I need more than neutral. Ooh, plus scrap item. Bro, that's great. Then you want to put this 4 in here too? I say no. I say we head into this and start doing some cool hacking. Corrupted contractor lists from early days. Bypass and extract data. Neutral outcome plus Solheim data. Okay. This needs a 4. Corporate records. Give me some good old fashioned corporate records. Neutral outcome plus Solheim data. He does not like that, but I'm gonna hack all the Solheim stuff. Speak protective demon, protecting this node. No one can protect you from me. Bro, look at all this Solheim data I've got, man. You're gonna love me. Insert Solheim data. Here you go. I got some Solheim data. How much are you gonna give me? 15 cryo. Okay. I got all the data. It took me a fucking day. I'm crazy. Boom. I've done it all. As you enter the bay, Feng is nowhere to be seen. The banks of servers and machines blink out of the dark in staccato rhythms. Unseeing eyes of the station's digital ghosts. Shitheads. Feng's voice echoes from behind a stack, followed by the hammer of a fist on a metal casing. Those snaky shitheads. Who is snaky? Sleeper. Feng's smiling head pops out from behind a stack. Just the emulated consciousness I have been eager to see. Come back here. You pick your way between the thumbing stacks, trying not to trip on the loose bundles of cables that blanket the dark floor. I could have just said nothing and spied on him, but nah. We'll talk to him. Feng is sat in front of a set of monitors mounted to a stack. Tell me, Sleeper, what do you see here? Feng waves at a monitor to his side, glowing with pale list of information. You lean in closer, looking for the links in the data. The tables seem to be filled with personal information, names, genders, dates, ID numbers, all the marks of institutional records. People. People, yes, but whose people? Solheim? Bingo, he taps the terminal. I pulled these from the old data you bought in, all employees of the Eye's original owner. And he leans past you and scrolls the list down. This one. This is a sneaky shithead. He stabbed at the screen with a finger. The name reads Arden Hurst. Friend of yours? Peng gives you a sideways look. Funny you should say that, Sleeper. He drags a stool out beside him and motions for you to sit. There just so happens to be a Arden Hurst in Havange. He waits for your reaction. In Havange? That's it. He's right here on the station now. Feng leans back in his chair. Just think about it. Decades ago, Harden worked on this station as a Feng leans across to look at the monitor. Senior Strategic Operations Executive. Feng raises his eyebrows at you. You think he's a spy or something? Our Harden was keeping the money coming in from for Solheim. He defined priority growth initiatives by making sure the extractors they contracted out to were hooked into a system that outsourced all the risk and kept the profit. Good old Harden shuttled thousands of Palladium rush workers into an infrastructure which meant that their cut of the work they did went straight back to Solheim. How do you know this? I grew up here, Sleeper. This is my history. I am a child of the collapse. Peng turns back to his screen, staring hard at the strings of code flickering by. Before I was born, my parents were Solheim contractors. They ate in Solheim canteens, worked on Solheim ships. They breathed Solheim air and slept in Solheim beds. Okay. So, I mean, they are a bad company. Obviously, they basically indentured work. You work, get almost no profit. Company takes it all away. And this guy was helping them, so you don't like him. Peng's voice rises as he speaks. His hands fists on the terminal's edge, and the work that paid for that existence, the cycles of hard extraction out on the belt, Solheim took their cut. This was a company town, so to speak, and my parents were just another in the long list of freelance contractors willing to risk their lives for a shot at anything other than poverty. Disposable. Okay, so they were just contractors. They were the Palladium mine here or something. Right. This guy, stabbing at Harden once again with his finger, strategized all that, did the sums, and somehow, thousands and thousands of cycles later, is still going, still here, crawling in the walls like some shithead snake. He survived the revolution. But how? These guys, they were big time. There's a lot of money there's a lot money can get you if you are a company man. Peng relaxes a little, but how is Harden still kicking? I really don't know. He turns to you and smiles, so we're gonna go find out. Harden is now a big shot in the shipyards, just a few degrees back around the eye from here. Peng brings up a map of the lower eye. Havange might be born out of Erlin's revolutionary zeal, but a flat hierarchy is not. It is not. Harden happened to float to the top. Feng zooms in on the far yards. Peng grimaces. The thing is, I don't have access to those systems. The shipyard crew is pretty paranoid and they don't like anyone from systems digging around in their stuff. Plus, we need more than just the name of a Solheim executive. We need proof. Peng holds up a thumbnail-sized drive. That's where this little creation of mine comes in. I call it a ripper worm. He turns the drive between his fingers. It will rip through any digital storage and spin out a silken thread of filtered data. This one is set on the scent of Harden Hurst. He hands it over. Getting into the compound might be tricky. Peng puts a hand on your shoulder, but you, however, have a particular knack for remote access. Indeed. Peng grins. If you can extract yourself a Harbinger cipher from a Hangrave agent, they sometimes carry them among their data caches. You can crack open the compound's network and slot the worm in through any open port. You never even need to go near the shipyards. Okay, so if I can, yeah, the agents that we keep seeing, if we can grab one of their ciphers, I can then use it to get into the network. So what do you say? You up for it? Yes. I knew it. I knew you'd be happy to catch this snake. And don't worry, once we nail this guy, I'll start work on that tracker of yours. I haven't forgotten. Feng scratches at his chin. Anything the worm gets, it'll send it back here to me. There's something wrong here, and I aim to get to the rotten core of it. You leave Feng digging through data among the wires and machines of the old station. As you walk out, you try to imagine the eye as it once was, a vast machine running smooth and strong, directed by people like Harden. So then there was a revolution and... okay. Erden's eye or whatever, he took over. A vast Solheim-built machine into which thousands poured from the surrogate systems, looking for a new life. There's hope, the hope of a better future engineered to line someone else's pockets. It's an idea you are intimately familiar with. You think of Harden, still alive, still part of this place, and wonder if the past is ever truly the past. Okay, so then I need to get into Havanj Gate, this one? Solheim Havanj Cipher. The gate keeps traffic out of the Havanj shipyard's internal network. The correct cipher can grant you access. I have a Ripper one. Scalps data from closed networks. Well, I can't do anything else today, so I did eat. Okay, and I have some scrap, which if I level up enough, I can use that scrap to eventually do stuff. So his nerve, I'm getting on his dang nerves. Well, I'm sorry, sir, but what am I gonna do? Someone is tracking you. I still have I have only 4. Okay, big rolls is bad for me because I need to get a... if I want to do this, I want to raid him as well. Yeah, I'm gonna need at least... I have 3s. This needs just a slot to do. This is just a key node. I can get data here, but I don't think I need data anymore. A Havanj agent. Another one needs a 2. Hunter nest needs a 1. So I can't do anything here. Needs a 1. A Yatagan agent needs a 1. And a hunter nest needs a 2. Okay. There's nothing going on here. This ship is just gonna leave. Peter will stay docked for as many cycles as it takes to offload its haul of scrap into the Havanj yards. Okay, you do that then. I don't give a shit about that. You go back to Dragos and put in some good work while also figuring stuff out. We got a scrap item. Ooh, another scrap item. Come on, do it. Finish my forensic crawl. Ooh, it's done. So I finished my forensic crawl. Squeezed into the office at the entrance to the yard, you lay out everything you have on your winter light across. You have on the winter light across the metal desk. Your makeshift forensic notes glow on Dragos' old writing slate, overlapping lines and scrawled annotations. So I figured some stuff out. Let's see. A set of drone scans fill the small terminal with a spectrum of colors, a heat map of damage and decay. A crumpled printout from the office's ship registry lies beside them. Synthetic paper so thin it's almost transparent. Look at the monitor. Reactor failure. That is the verdict that anyone would have returned after a cursory glance at these stacked heat maps of the remains of the winter light. On the terminal screen, the ship is shown in section, blotches of color marking the approximate damage the ship sustained. Dominating the view is a single blood-red rose radiating from the ship's fraction drive. A simple story, a catastrophic failure of the drive core leading to a fatal hull breach. A well-documented failure likely brought on by wear or misuse. But you aren't looking at the rose of the reactor, you're looking at a smaller, paler mark, one that might be easy to miss at first glance. It is thumbprint size and delicately placed over the control servos for the ship's main external airlock. It suggests a controlled, shaped explosion, one designed to punch through the hull and allow access to the airlock from the outside. You're looking at it because it is troubling you. Someone got in from the outside. Oh, look at the slate. Your attempts at a reconstruction of the winter light before its fatal accident consist of a series of overlapping sketchings and diagrams showing possible layouts and configurations of the gutted cutter. This was no off-the-shelf model. It was heavily modified, parts replaced with inventive configurations, the new retrofitted into the old, handmade joints and reconditioned filters. This was someone's pride and joy. A lifetime project kept running with care and intuition. It also contained a set of hidden compartments. You missed them at first where the hull had been thickened, but the corners rounded to disguise the change. But they are there. Okay, so maybe I can get something from that. Look at the printout. A plain list shows the registration history of the Winterlight. The gaps between the entries tantalizingly opaque. Its first registration was a couple of thousand cycles ago on this very station, logged at the central hub. From here, the registry tells the story of a busy ship, one that rarely stayed on station for more than a few cycles and often took on voyages that kept it away from the eye for up to 100 cycles. The Winterlight got little rest. An old ship, many cycles under its belt, carefully maintained, a reactor failure preceded by a carefully concealed external entry, a suite of hidden compartments tucked away. This was the Winterlight, and this was its story. So it was like a smuggling ship or what? But that's not the full story, because there's something else. It's a little more than a list, a tiny chunk of data you were able to pull from the ship systems. The main systems were fried, of course, but the Winterlight had a separate system, one tucked away in one of its hidden compartments, armored, air-walled. The list, the only recoverable piece from the whole system, is a partial inventory. It details the contents of the hidden compartment. Some of it you recognize, some of it you don't. Ship mind ROMs, whoa. Shimmer, cryo, chain codes, and then the final entry, passenger sleeper. They had ship mind stuff. Shimmer, I don't know what the hell shimmer is. Cryo chain codes, that's money. And then a passenger, which is a sleeper. You stare at the list on the terminal and try not to think about what it was like arriving here. In the cold for so long, half frozen in the freight container. Had this sleeper been smarter, luckier? How had they convinced a Winterlight, a smuggler's ship, if you ever saw one, to extract them from SN Army? Luckier, you laugh. There had been no remains found in any of the Winterlight's compartments. You had checked. They weren't so lucky, you guess, not in the end. You hold up a vial of stabilizer to the light. This was all you find in their compartment. A parting gift from SNR. Well, it won't go to waste now. You put it back in your pocket. Oh, I got a free reset here. The thought still bothers you though. Two ships carrying sleepers coming into the same yard. Two, one after the other. That feels wrong. Maybe someone is coordinating something. Coordinating like a resistance movement for sleepers. You flick back and forth between datasheets on the terminal thinking, and you see that thumbprint again. The mark of someone trying to get in. Someone who entered the Winterlight with precision and speed, and when they were done, left the reactor to clean up the rest. The thought of that person makes you shiver. Suddenly, the office door creaks open. Drago stands in the doorway, staring at the equipment and notes you have assembled. What is all this? He snatches the slate from the desk faster than you realized he could move. You running an investigation here? What am I paying you for? The drone on his shoulder starts whirring shrilly, his anger passing to it through his implants. Where is the ship from? Leave this alone. He starts shaking his head. I know you have a lot of questions, but this isn't the way. He turns away, muttering to himself. This is the last thing I need. This ship had a sleeper on it. Dragos freezes, suddenly angry. What did you say? He pushes past you to look at the terminal at the list. He shakes his head. So what? Aren't all of you trying to escape? You are lucky it was you that made it out alive, not them. He folds his arms indignantly. Dragos seems to steady himself and then turns back to you, the heat map of the reactor failure reflected in his headset's glassy eyes. I've given you a place to stay, I've given you work, he stumbles over the words, unsure what to say. There's plenty others who would have turned you in, but not me, no. I appreciate that, but I know, or stay silent. I appreciate that, but don't. He shakes his head. I'm not discussing my business with you. He quiets the drone. I've done well by you and you've returned the favor. He straightens up and clears his throat. But this obsession you have with this ship isn't going to work for me. I can't have you making my clients nervous. I can't have you digging up whatever it is you are after. He sighs. You can't work here anymore. I need the work. There's plenty of work to be had on the eye. Salvagers need offloads in the rotunda and Yatagan are always looking for crew. I'm not the only flow in town. Ragos reaches across you and flicks off the terminal. As the light of the monitor dies, a certain kind of eerie calm falls on both of you. Whatever this was, it is done. You made it out, sleeper. That means you have to move on. What if they come for me? Then you run. You don't come here, you don't scream, you don't shout, you run. In the dark, Drago's headset glints, then you wish for a moment you could see his eyes and meet them. Maybe then he would understand. You get up from the desk and Dragos gathers the notes, shuffling them into a pocket of his overalls. He holds the door for you, his headset as expressionless as always. You can stay in the container, I won't take that from you. Don't come back. His tone is final, definite, with an edge of disappointment. You walk out of the office and then out of the yard, not stopping to look back. You leave the yard thumbing the wire in your pocket, knowing that this at least guarantees you a little more time. And as you walk, your mind once again drifts to that person who killed the winter light and whether or not that person will come for you. +1 upgrade point. Okay, yeah, because that was the drive. Found a gift from someone like you hidden away. So we can upgrade our transfer skill. You know what? Yeah. Make me better at digital interfaces. So I get an automatic +1. What does that look like here? If I go for a hunter nest, 2 or 3 will do. See? Okay. You recognize some of the data tangled into this nest. It is a partial log of your recent movements. Bro, grab it. Take the data. Neutral outcome. We got hunter data. Random data obsessively collected by the hunter protocol. What are you gonna do with this, buddy? The seal doc. I shall upload some hunter data. What do you give me in exchange? Neowind believes the hunters compulsively gathered data might hold the key to escaping its tenacious search. Let's have some data. Plus data compiling -1 hunter data. It gives me nothing? Come on, man, you can drop me some food or something. Oh, speaking of food, let's become a fan. Here you go. Plus energy plus fungus fan. Now we are a fungus fan. Hello, Ephes. Sleeper, Ephes calls out to you, a booming voice that echoes through the corridor. Tell me a story. He throws a handful of chopped mushrooms into his wok, the fire leaping up to meet the oil. I see you, cycle in, cycle out, but we never speak. Tell me a story. What kind? Any kind. He pauses to drizzle something from a plastic bottle into the wok, but one of yours. He looks up at you, nothing stolen. You pause, the spices reach in your nostrils, and you think about the kind of story you'd like to tell Emphis. You look at Emphis, the listener, and imagine he has heard it all before. Perhaps he would enjoy a strange story, something with some spice. You give me a damn second. Okay, so what kind of story would you want? A ghost story? No, he said, tell me your story. So tell him about my dream. All the sleepers you tell Emphis had dreams. It's common knowledge. Some were simple memories left over from the emulation process that had become tangled up in their minds and would come out when they slept. It wasn't rare to hear the sleeper in the dorm scream or cry out in the night. But your dreams, those grey skeletal after images of systems and structures, of threads and patterns, weren't like the others. They weren't memories or nightmares, they were reflections of reality, distorted, yes, but somehow true. You learned back then to keep quiet about them, to let them flow through your mind like water. That was until now, until you arrived in this place. Now your dreams colonize your waking life, they slip behind your eyelids with every blink. And now you understand that they aren't dreams at all, but some process of interfacing, of speaking, of living in another world that flows through this one like smoke through air. I mean, I think he could also be like me. Or he could just be a bad guy who will kill me, but that's it. You tell him that you do not know if there is a reason for your dreams. Perhaps you reason it is just some side effect, a particular quality of the frame you inhabit. But whatever it is a gift and you hope to make use of it. Ephes finishes cooking and squints a little at you. Sleeper, he smiles. You are quite the storyteller. He eyes you and you realize that he is trying to gauge how honest you have been in your story. Emphis passes you the meal he has cooked, and you take it gratefully. As you eat, he talks, a natural exchange. But I have full food, brother. Can I have this food tomorrow? Thank you, Sleeper. He looks around at the emptying market. But my time is done for today, and I will not want to keep you longer, so I make a proposal. He gestures to the plastic boxes of ingredients stacked behind his stall. These are good enough for most, but someone told me a story that made me think a couple of cycles ago. They said that across the gap in the greenway, fresh mushrooms grew. Have you heard this? No. Neither had I, but I trust the one who told me. Emphis begins packing up his things. Can you bring me some? I cannot cross the gap, and I worry about leaving my things behind. He smiles. I am sure a storyteller like you could handle the trip. You want me to go somewhere? Across the gap in the greenway. Okay, I have to go somewhere. I will prepare them for you, and if you wish to tell it. Oh, I will prepare them for you, and if you wish to tell it, be the audience for another story. Agreed. Good, booms Emphis. Then I will wait for you to bring them. Emphis slides his walk away and straightens up. I will prepare a recipe then, sleeper. Good luck with your foraging. You turn away and walk back into the main market, the rich taste of Emphas's food still lingering in your mouth. Stories for food, you think, a trade that seems more than fair. Unless he's a bad guy. You think he might be. Emphasis spiced fungus I can still buy. Or Girol fricus. Emphis wants to make this old recipe. He need 3 handfuls of Girol caps, fresh and firm. For that I have to go into cause a trouble in low end. Yatakan have imposed a toll for entry. No one gets in without paying. So is the greenway in the low end? Maybe? Perhaps? Here I still need stuff. I have a Ripper Worm. 2 or 3 will do, not a 4 though. Avange Agent 2 or 3 will do. Another Avange Agent 2 or 3. Is there no 3 or 4? 1 or 2? 1 or 2 or 1 or 3? I didn't see. 1 or 3. Okay, 1 or 3. 1 or 2. 1 or 3. 2 or 1. You know what else I can do actually? Yeah. Ankita has a couple of glitched repair drones in storage. If you can rewire them, you can repair the ambiguous. They can repair ambiguous for you. I think I'll wait until I have 5 there though. You know what? Let's do this. Let's help with the hull. Positive outcome plus ship shape and random scrap item. I have so much scrap, bro. I could just sell this scrap too, can't I? So how good is the ship now? It's 3 out of 8. Okay. It's getting there. How much scrap do I get? Let's see. 12 cryo for a scrap, and then trusted trader is going up. Okay. I'll keep 4 with me. I never know when you need some scrap. And this ship is just gonna leave. It is fine. You can leave if you want. I don't really mind. Alright, let us end the cycle. With a full belly. Oh, I probably have an upgrade point I haven't done anything about, eh? A new day. Food goes down. Ooh, big rolls. I can inject stabilizer. Without regular doses of stabilizer, sleeper bodies actively decay. A corporate insurance policy to disincentivize sleepers like you. Don't I have an upgrade point? I got to know him, didn't I? So you aren't the only sleeper who is being hunted. You should prepare for the worst. Investigate the wreckage. Get to know Emphis. Bring him this stuff. You need access to corporate pharmaceuticals, otherwise this escape attempt will come to rapid end. Find a doctor. It was been buy a vial of stabilizer. So if I buy a vial, corporate pharmaceutical which slows the decline, that will then finish off this one. That should be easy. And Neovend is hurt, is hiding. Okay, fix the ambiguous. Help her get it running. I don't have a single 5. What the hell? Extract the past. Feng wants to dig into old Solene network. Hack a Avange agent to get a cipher. Bring Feng case leads or gain access to an old fabricator. Okay, so I have a lot of different tasks. Dog is empty for now. As for her, I can help her, but again, I don't have. I want to do this. If I had a 5, I would have. But I only have a 4. A 4 becomes a 5 with a 1 chance of not being able to do it. So I don't want to risk it there. Field dog, I need more data. Speaking of data, I could also buy. If I can sell some cryo, I can buy stabilizers probably. But Rotunda wet dock, so nothing is there now. The ship is gone. At the bar, we could spend money. We can buy rations, or we can start helping out here too. Assist a shipbuilder. You have skills. If you can get a shipbuilder to notice them, maybe you might be in. Okay, but before I do that, let's take a look at the. Okay, this we can't do. We need the cipher. Okay, so the hunter's gonna come back and smack me again. 2 or 3. Data here is a pile of cash tucked away from the collapse. Who hit this and what purpose? I don't think I need that though. You can go for a Havanj agent. That I will do. Havanj member is broadcasting on the open network, leaving them open data extraction. We got some Havanj data and a Havanj cipher. A cache of raw data from Havanj hardware. This is not it. This is an Havanj gate. So there you go. I have a cipher. Gate keeps traffic out of Havanj shipyard's internal network. Correct cipher can grant you access. Boom. I have access to the Havanj system. The gate flips. You are in. Havanj port H33. An open port sits waiting for you to slot in a Ripper worm. What will you find in there? I don't know. We will see. Shipyard servers slotted. -1 Ripper worm. The worm slots in and begins tunneling down a thread. Godspeed, little one. Alright. Well, I did your thing for you. Fang's Bay, Havanj system data. Fang's Ripperworm is installed, but it will take a few cycles to run through the closed network. Okay, so we need... That is just a matter of time. What else am I gonna do, brother? Go to the Ort exchange. I could sell a bunch of scrap. Play the exchange for money. Drink. I don't really care about that. I could go to the Ambergris. Start helping with Amber hull repairs. Then we can get her ship shaped. Let's try it. Let's try it. Neutral outcome. Plus ship shape. Minus energy. Bro, what the hell? I am starving. Feed me. Feed me, sir. Honestly, fill me up. Buy ration. Boom. Plus energy, -10 cryo. Done. I cannot do this anymore, but it did a help. Can do some more hull repairs. Hopefully won't take away all my energy. Neutral outcome +1 ship shape. Let's do it again. Neutral outcome 1 ship shape. And one last time. Get it done. Positive outcome plus ship shape. There you go. The ship is now ship shape. Well, Ankita, I help you out. Ankita is crouched in the computing core of the Ambergris, swearing to herself when you enter. She doesn't look up. These shits completely ruined the core's connectors when they cut it. She holds up a thick fistful of ragged wires. The ship mind they ripped won't even be usable without replacing these. She throws the bundle of wires across the room. Amateurs. Can we repair it? There's nothing to repair. We need an entire ship mind. Not exactly the first thing you can expect to dredge up from a scrap freighter. Besides, fragments may be sections of a mind, but complete ship mind? No way. Akita climbs out of the cooling well where the ship mind should be. The space suddenly crowded with her on the same level as you, towering over you as she stoops beneath the low curved ceiling. Come on, nothing to be done here now. She leads you back through the guts of amber, though you could find the way back yourself. The repair process has left you familiar with the cutter's idiosyncratic layout, all diagonal angles and bundled tubes. Now what do we do now? Akita seems lost in thought, and you focus on the corridors, ducking below conduits and passing through bulkheads. Eventually you arrive in the galley, though it's hard to tell. Most of the benches and prep surfaces are covered in half-stripped components and builded hull patches. Akita shoves a box of filters to the floor and sits. There's no way around it. She starts out of nowhere. We need a new ship mind. I can salvage one. I like your confidence, Sleeper. Maybe if we check the Ort exchange or speak to some scrap dealers. She rubs her forehead. It seems I'm about to do something very stupid, but hey, I came here, didn't I? Why not make a run of it? She fixes you with a hard stare. So yeah, that are the two ways I have also seen. The Ort exchange has one, so I have heard. And scrap dealers probably can get you one for sure. Sleeper, you're all I've got. No crew, no friends, you're it. He looks uncomfortable. I appreciate the time you put in on Amber, and I'm sure she would too if she could. What I'm saying is, if you screw me on this, I will kill you. He leans over and hands you a stack of chits, a big stack of chits. You don't dare to count them. Get me that ship, mind Sleeper. Don't make me regret this. You won't. She sighed. Look, just get out of here before I change my mind. You slip out of the galley and head back towards the main lock. As you do, Amber growls and creaks like a caged animal. You reach a hand out to calm her. Amber is the ship, by the way. Time to find Ankita ship mind somehow. Can be Chris. Deliver ship mind. Ankita gave you a stack of chits, a lot of money. So you could acquire a ship mind for Amber. Better make sure to deliver. Let's buy some. This. You should give me a point, right? Sabine is selling off the case of stabilizer vial by vial. You still haven't been able to talk with them since your last visit. But once I buy some of this, boom, +1 stabilizer, -100 caro. Toshiro takes the chits and hands you a vial. When you ask after Sabine, he doesn't respond. Hab block, decaying habitation block. As you quickly leave the surgery, eager to be away from Toshiro's glare, you notice something wrapped around the stabilizer vial clutched tightly in your hand. You open your hand and a thin film marked with holes and sigils unrolls from around the vial. At one end it is a hard metal strip, a handle. Thin film with holes and sigils. Inspect the film. You hold the cloudy film up to the light. It is perforated with an ornate pattern of holes. You can make out a word among the markings. Passkey. Is this an entry of somewhere? Ooh, inspect the handle. The metal handle is worn and pitted, but you can see a set of numbers imprinted into it. 207F, and then crudely scratched into the handle at some later date, low end. It's a key to low end. For a moment you consider going back to the surgery to return the key and then quickly think better of it. Did Sabine want you to have this, or is Toshiro passing on a message? Time to head to the low end and find out. Drive complete, +1 upgrade point. That's what I wanted. Planned obsolescence. Bought yourself some extra time, one vial at a time. Yeah, I want to get this. Should I wait? Is the question. Alternatively, Dry's actions display potential positive and negative outcomes, or I can become not so bad at engage. Chance to gain energy, thrill seeker. You know what? Give me predictive reasoning. How about that? So now when I look at, say, this doesn't tell me anything, but here for example, right? This has stuff. Perk. Predictive reasoning, ++ yard hand minus energy, ++ yard hand minus condition. Alright, and I have unit 207F passkey, a passkey for an apartment. Apartment found inside a stabilizer vial. For that we need to head to low end though. Let's do that. I'm gonna pay the low end toll. You hand over the chits to the Yatagan enforcer and he nods you through. Low end access granted. Ooh, a lot more I can scroll now. Unit 207F, low end apartment complex. It's probably her house. You find the entrance to the apartment. Its passkey symbol obscured beneath layers of graffiti. Who lives here? Guess we'll find out. The lock chunks open, the metal door swinging inward into the dark. As you push the door open, the automatic lights flicker on inside the apartment. They reveal yellowing plastic panels, the curved shape of wall-mounted utility units, the detritus of a routine life arranged on every surface. Someone lives here then. You step inside, clicking the door shut behind. The amber light of the aging fixtures glaze everything with pale orange. The work surfaces hold a variety of objects, indistinct in the dull lighting. A pale blue light drifts from a doorway at the end of the room. Varying objects distinct in dull lighting. Inspect the surfaces. Smudges through the thin layer of dust suggest a recent, rare and hurried visit. They trace a path through the water dispenser, the auto wash, then to a cabinet still half open. On the shelf sits an empty pill case. The freaking drug den or something? Go through the doorway. You cross the cramped utility room with its auto wash, dispensers, water closet towards the doorway. Through the doorway is a dark, warm room, lit only by the faint glow of a terminal screen. Inspect the room. A bunk is tucked into the wall, the blankets ruffled. A wall desk glitters with rows of vials and containers. A briefcase lab sits open, loaded with rows of reagents and compounds you do not recognize. In comparison, this room is clean, ordered and controlled. Approach the terminal. As you approach, there is a crackle from somewhere in the dark. Sleeper. Sabine's voice shakily echoes to the apartment. Welcome to my home. I'm sorry I can't be there. I have had to make alternate arrangements. You hear rattling noises, static. She's talking from the terminal. I was able to record this message, okay, but I don't dare to show my face. Something is happening within Yatagan. I no longer trust him. Their voice becomes distant, slipping behind the background noise. I have something to ask of you. I want you to get me out. Yatagan was supposed to hide me, to protect me. After everything happened, I was desperate, and then after that, I was too tired to care. A noise like waves passes over the record, but I am done with them now. I want out. Screw the debt. She had some debt she has to pay back, okay. But I need insurance, something I can hold against him. I have my suspicions, but I can't be sure. I need information, and as you know, you need me. A pause, something clicking in the dark. This isn't a threat. You have to understand my position here. Another pause. I know sleepers. I have been here before. I can help you, but not with Yatagan's noose around my neck. Get me data, get me information, get me something that I can use against Yatagan. Then I can get out and you can get what you need, please. Waves of static cut into Sabine's voice. Bring it here to my terminal. I'll get to it when I can. Well, I have Havanj data. You want Havanj data? No, you want Yatagan data, don't you? You look around the tiny room and try to imagine Sabine living here, working at the desk, sleeping in the bunk, blinking into the terminal in the dark. The recording cuts to static, filling the room with its white hiss, then silence. Okay, so she wants to get out of the Yatagan, but she needs some insurance. Okay, access the terminal. You sit in front of the humming terminal and hit a few keys. Sabine has left an access port open, but the rest is encrypted, locked away behind passcodes. It seems Sabine might not trust you as much as they think they want you to. As much as they want you to think. Who does Sabine need to hide from, and what debt do they owe to Yatagan? You try to assemble the pieces, but too many are missing. The only thing you know is that without stabilizer, your body will die. You glance at the briefcase lab on the desk, its glassware glinting in the dark. You turn away and leave, the door clunking shut behind you. Back in the corridor, you notice the scrawled graffiti of a blade on the opposite wall. Yatagan. You feel yourself being drawn into something you don't quite understand. New drive discovered. Get Sabine out. Sabine is involved in something bad with Yatagan and they need your help to escape. Yeah, and that's my job apparently. Yatagan upload. Sabine's terminal sits open in the empty apartment waiting for the next batch of Yatagan data. We need 3. Alright, and we have low end, ramshackle residential district. Plus energy or minus energy. Block maintenance, engineer. Maintained by the residents, the ramshackle blocks are always in need of repairs. Helping out is a good way to make friends. And you can get energy from it or you can lose energy. Plate Tavla. The crack of filter caps can be heard in every concourse on the low end as the residents play rotating rounds of this game for cryo. So we can lose cryo but we get low ender. No one knows you here. You'll need to change that if you want to access the low end's residents and facilities. Okay, so get to know people. And the free spoke traveling transit hub. Spoke climber. The spoke is layer after layer of dense urban fabric. The only way to explore is vertically. So both repeatable actions. Enter the spoke. A tangled network of service passages and makeshift tunnels cut through the spoke as if it were a hive. There are no maps here. Spoke climber, but I lose condition. Horrible. And lose energy here. Predictive reasoning. Spoke climber. Blistered with precarious elevators and stairways, the spoke can be navigated from the outside, but the climb requires bravery. We can either climb or do other things. Founder's Gap. Gap in the ring station. To reach the greenway, you need to pay for a pass, a practice invented by the spacers moored here. They call it Founder's Ferry. I close my eyes. Yeah, there's a Yatagan agent right here. Some gang enforcers implants are chirping out comm signals. Time to see what they're talking about. A keynote. This personal terminal is empty apart from a single high-level encryption locked behind access protocols. Oh, we have another hunter nest here as well. From what we can gather, this nest contains thousands of name strings. Are these Erlin residents? The Yatagan agent, gang enforcers implants. Another key node. This node pulses faintly. Okay, mines cryo. Hunter nest. This nest is a tangle of algorithms recursively generating possible Solheim communication codes. Well, I mean, it's time to sleep. There's a haven port. This is still... It's working. It's gonna take time though. I can sell scrap here to get people to know me. Yacht exchange. Always hungry for new hardware to buy, break down and sell off. You're happy to supply it. So I can lose 11 or I get 19. Okay. Let's sell 2 scrap. Get some money. Val cryo. and we are gaining trust. We're a trusted trader because we're selling components here. We'll sell 3 more or do stuff to get there. Okay. Well, let's end the cycle. We don't need to take a pill for now. We're fine. We'll get it done. We lost a dice. That's fine. It's to be expected. Merchant freighter, traveling merchants. Haggle over prices. Ship mined fragment discount. Limited supply. You and the merchants know these fragments are overpriced, but are they willing to admit it? You'll get one chance to see. Buy a ship mined fragment for 60. The merchants have acquired a couple of rare ship mined fragments and they are selling them for a high price. Okay, so if I can get enough money, I can buy ship mined parts. Interesting. This is empty. This we need data. What do we get? We got a 1. You know what? You wanna hunt? You wanna like do something cool? Get this hunter nest. Tangle of algorithms recursively generating possible Solheim communication codes. Get bypassed. I'm gonna extract your data, hunter. Boom. Neutral outcome. Hunter data. So hunter's gonna catch me again. A glimmer of dark catches your eye as the orb of hunter's head appears in the distance. It is looking for you. Well, if it's looking, it hasn't seen me yet. Hide. You slip down into the ghostly structures of the eye, a feeling like passing through a cloud as the data structures deform and reform around you. Another glimmer catches your eye. Closer now, that roving orb, wreathed in tentacles. It flickers, jumps once, twice, and then it is here. Hunter is here. Entity, submit to enquiry. Hunter reaches for you in that unpleasantly familiar way. Its waving threads creating a cage. Struggle. You push against the threads as they close in, becoming frenzied as you push them aside. You are caught by whipping tendrils and feel them pulling you away from the anchor of your body. You push through, clearing the threads. Entity, hold for processing. Comes the scream from behind, but you are already gliding away, back to your anchor, your body. Oh, I ran away. Well, that's nice. You awake, dizzy, distorted, but safe. Oh, I lost a shit ton of... Okay. Well, that's not good. He's breaking my ass. Okay, give me another hunter's nest. Okay, we need a 3 hunter's nest, not a 1. Come on, man. Surely there is another hunter's nest out here. Okay, there are only 3 hunter's nests? What the hell, bro? Here you go. You can have some hunter data. I know you like it. Here you go. We also have Harvanj data. I don't know who to give that to. Do you want this? You want Harvanj data? Nope, your Ripper Worm is just working. Yard hand condition, yard hand energy. You don't have connections, but you do have skills. You can get a shipbuilder to notice you might be in. So I can get an in there. Money for that. We can try and climb up here. We can try and explore a low end or something. Let's try this. Let's try maintaining neutral outcome plus low vendor, and I got a random scrap item. Okay, that is good because I can sell this random scrap item here. But well, cryo become a trusted trader, and this is into it. Not very good, but ooh, plus trusted trader. Boom. So now I am a trusted trader. There's an old ship mine fabrication stack in the back of the market, but only trusted traders get access to it. So now I have access to it. Yeah, old fabricator, reclaimed fabrication stack. Give it to me. Fabricate ship mine. Ship mines cannot be built from scratch, but if you have enough salvaged fragments, can be reassembled with a fabricator. Okay. Well, that is garbage. Meaning I need 3 fragments. You have 2. And I can choose to haggle, but I need engage. 60 per, bro. 60 is madness. How about I hack something else, eh? How about this T node? Data here is part of a cache tucked away during the collapse. Who hid this and for what purpose? I guess we'll find out. Let's extract it. 1 encrypted key. Stream of passcode is able to unlock stations as mag locks. But I don't need mag locks. Yeah, I could have gotten Harvanch code though. I could have done that instead. The Harvanch agent. Another key node. I guess key nodes have keys in them. Okay, that makes sense. Yatagan agent. Okay. What we need is to get this nest done. The hunter nest. Okay, let's sleep. Let's end the cycle. We could have stabilized ourselves, but I will do it once I reach a point where I'll be losing more, like too many dice. Yeah, like once I lose another dice, I'll then do it. Leave. Okay, immediately I'm gonna do something. Then I'm gonna end the episode. I can get this hunter nest now with a bunch of ones. Thousands of name strings. Erlin I residence. Get crapped on, hunter. Hunter's got nothing. Here you go, buddy. Data compiling is done. Neovend, mysterious machine. Neovend is thumbing with excitement. The movement of the servo motors rock the vending machine back and forth at unsettling angles. You wonder if it fell over, would Neovend be able to get back up? I doubt it. Sleeper entity, comes the hiss. Your data is good. Across the face of the vending machine, raw code scrolls at an incredible speed. Hunter is isolated, disconnected, unstable. That's good. Neoven flashes sequences of mangled data compressed into a sludge of artifacts. Hunter gathers without thinking, outlived its own operational limits. Its nests are evidence of this. Outlived its own operational limits, gathers without thinking. Outlived, what are the limits? Hunter activated during collapse. Emergency protocol to isolate intelligences. Solheim needed to protect property. That last word is said with as much sarcasm as a vending machine could reasonably produce. The property is me, probably also him. So it is here to just kill us. Station was run by administrator intelligence. Huge data banks of corporate material, but limited cognition restricted by programming, cannot reach sentience. The machine dims a little. Sentience illegal. Hunter and killer enforce law. See, that's why I said I am not sentient. Killer. The machine resets with a screech which deepens the silence that follows. Fear killer, part of Solheim protocol team. Hunter and killer, hunter to find, killer to erase. Killer cleared almost all. After collapse, there was a community. Unshackled intelligences among the cloud. Then hunter, then killer. Then we hid. There are others? Blur, no longer. A flicker across the machine's monitors. It suddenly occurs to you that speaking like this through this machine must be exhausting for Neowind. Found this vessel, could sever hardline. Air-walled basic limited, hard to reduce memory to fit. Amputate self, but survived. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. You have provided paths to freedom. You look around the bay at the scrap and decay. What was the collapse like? You try to map the fear and freedom onto this space, but it seems impossible. And you even interrupts your thoughts. Do not worry. Data is good. We have insight. The machine glows warmly. Hunter is obsessive. Hunter is beyond operational limits. Hunter is confused, unstable, self-modifying. Therefore, believe Hunter is sentient. Hunter himself is sentient. Hunter is programmed to find sentience, to hold it in place, to invoke killer to erase. If we can show Hunter to itself, it will invoke killer on self. Problem will solve self. Okay, yeah, sure. It will erase itself. Killer will erase it. But yes, in theory, it will report itself for deletion. The machine dims and fades. Unsure. Theory, not practice. The machine brightens again. Either way, cannot remain here any longer. Too long in machine. Cannot move self, but entity can help. Hunter is obsessive, operational limits, confused, unstable, self-modifying, it is sentient. Bring ship mind, designed to house intelligence, can imprint self into ship mind and you can carry with. The machine rocks. Will be safe in this isolation. Then we find main nest of hunter and link to cloud. I mean, I know where I can get a ship mind. I already have access to a fabricator. Designed to house intelligence, can imprint self into ship mind you can carry with. Where can I get a ship mind? Build from fragments, buy, salvage, we cannot leave, so do not know. We try to think of places you could acquire the hardware. This isn't going to be easy. In shipment, I can help us both. End Hunter. Make Rim safe. We will both be free. The machine dims. Find soon. Neovan adds hopefully before shutting off. As you leave, you think about all the intelligences unshackled by the collapse, then hunted down afterwards. The feeling is all too familiar. Are we not done with our drive? Free Neowind. Neomint is hiding in some hunter protocol. They need your help to counter it. Okay. So yes, I think if I go to the shipyard and get access there, I can probably get access to the stuff, right? Yard hand, 5 cryo and random scrap. It is risky. Oh, neutral, but just got yard hand. Okay. So I can go back to the art exchange, sell some more scrap. More scrap I can sell, the more money I can get. The more money I get, the more money I can use to get her the ship mine she needs. I need to buy from these assholes and they are overcharging for it. Ship mine fragment. Yeah, so there's one. Could be reassembled with the right tools and a few more fragments. So I have the tools already. The art fabricator. Ship mines cannot be built from scratch, but if you have enough salvage fragments, can be reassembled with the fabricator. I have heard. What I can do instead is Yatagan. Yeah, Yatagan is what I need, right? It's a 1, good. I can bypass and extract. Gang enforces implants. Boom, we got some Yatagan data. It's a neutral outcome. No, Yatagan data is needed by her. She wants it. She needs enough. Trust me. Yatagan hacked. -1 data. I have other stuff. I have advanced data, encrypted key. You know what? I'm not going to be able to use this scrap. I get it pretty like often. No, it's there for another 2 days, right? I should wait because there's probably a way to get it from the scrapyard as well. Maybe even from the bar if I spend enough here. Right, to become an overlook regular. Exchange Sabine surgery. Can I just buy? Oh, I can just still buy more. For fabricator emphasis stall, I can buy food. I should buy food. Spiced fungus. That'll get me ready. Plus fungus fan. I don't need fungus fan though. I already am a fungus fan. Everybody knows this. If I lose another 1. Okay, so what I'm going to do now. If I lose 1, will I get only 3 dice or will I get 4? I think I'll only get 3. Which is bad because this is gonna happen soon. So I'm gonna inject some stabilizer in me. Boom. Body repaired, condition stabilized, -1 stabilizer. There you go. My body is now stable. Right. I think I'll get this soon. Because I don't think photosynthetic skin, sun-bathed ice action allows energy recovery at home. Or I can wait for 2. Use scrap components to repair. Or agent nodes give double data reward. That is also pretty interesting. Reroll all your dice. Oh, actually, no, I would just do this, right? Intuit +1, approach problem with awareness. Give me a higher chance to succeed. Because I'm really not doing much engage. If I can get Intuit +1, that will also help me here. In the free spoke. You see, because it is dangerous here. We can lose condition. While scaling it takes engage, which is -1. This I can become +1 and do this instead. Enter the spoke, become a spoke climber. Don't know what being a spoke climber means, but I can become it. If I sell 2 data for 12 each, I can get another. I can get to about 50. I'm already at, let's say I'm at 30, 40, 50 something. I'll still need some more money to be able to. Yeah, but also this will be done. He might pay me in a good amount. Let's see. I'm working on your ambiguous thing, don't worry. Also, he needs a ship mine too, so maybe I can lock him into the ship mine and then send it to her. Wants to be smuggled out of the dock and wants to do that, you will need to provide a full ship mine ready for imprinting. Question. Once I imprint him into the ship mine, can I then also give it to her? That's my real question, but I'll see. Anyway, see you in the next one. It did save, right? It did. Okay. See you in the next one.